The types of social interventions that are important depends upon the situation within the country itself. So in some cases it's very basic needs like food or clean water or energy poverty. In other places, like Mexico, it's community oriented primarily. And you see things like social justice, gender equality, help for the youth in education. Now there are parts of Mexico where there is insufficient healthcare coverage. And so some of the social enterprises are working in healthcare where places where it's very hard to access healthcare. And all of those things are important. Here in Mexico, there's Clínicas del Azúcar, who is treating diabetes. There's PACE MD, who is providing healthcare to regions that don't have access to it. There's Ilu Mexico, which is energy poverty. There's Someone Somewhere, who is doing things with artisans in remote areas. Whole variety of organizations. And what I feel most strongly about is that the leaders of these social enterprises are not only competent and capable, but passionate about the impact that they bring and have found the right configuration of their business model to be able to scale. And every one of them has been successful in raising outside capital to grow their business. One of the problems that social entrepreneurs have, just like any other entrepreneur, is not understanding the real customer problem. And so the solution misses the mark with the problem. And so we encourage the entrepreneurs to work with the customers closely to really understand the problem. The second one is access to capital. Now, access to capital is changing, and it's changing rapidly. So it's not like Silicon Valley, where you have a bunch of venture capitalists who are tripping over each other to give businesses money. Here, you have to be more articulate about what your capital needs are, what type of capital that you need, whether it's grants or debt or equity, the use of funds, so how that will improve the performance of the business and improve the impact to the customers, and the return on the for the investor. So the investor returns may be economic, meaning I want a return expressed in economic returns, percentage of return on investment. But many investors are also looking at an impact return. That is, if I grant $100,000 and you could serve 1 million people, I like that. And I'm willing to make that investment because I care personally about that impact, and that's extremely important to me. And of course, then there's the hybrids, the blends of both economic and impact. It's different for every enterprise, but what we guide the social entrepreneurs to do is to start with the Sustainable Development Goals. Because the world, through the UN, has agreed to these 17 Sustainable Development Goals, and that's a starting point. So whether it's access to water or gender equality, there is a Sustainable Development Goal that becomes a guiding star. Now the specific measurements are different, and they're different for each enterprise, and the entrepreneurs can use iris metrics or other ways of determining those, or the ones that they feel most are correlated to their impact. But what we tell them all the time is measure, 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 right? And impact metrics and the measurement is critical for impact investors. While economic investors care about the number of customers and the revenue and the profitability and so on, an impact investor cares about not only the beneficial outcome for but what the transformation of their life is. Does it actually improve their standard of living?